Thank you, guys. Moving to the sidecars now, and TT 2009 will sadly be remembered for the end of a unique TT career, when Nick Crowe and his passenger Mark Cox crashed heavily while leading the second sidecar race. Nick and Mark were left with a fight for their lives, one which they thankfully won, but both were left with life-changing and career-ending injuries. Nick can look back on a phenomenal TT career, 5 wins, 10 podiums, as well as being the current outright lap record holder at an amazing 116.667 miles per hour. That record, ladies and gentlemen, is all the more incredible when you realise that Nick only ever started 15 TT races. His absence from the TT 2010 starting lineup is a huge blow for the class, however. That is made up for, by a certain extent, by the news that Nick intends to continue his involvement in the sport by fielding his own team. You'll have seen the outfit when you walked in this evening, with the up-and-coming Simon Neary taking over the role as the driver. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the legendary Nick Crowe and his protégés for TT 2010, Simon Neary and Paul Napton.
I think that ovation that you've just had says everything.
Yeah, I just, well, to be as nice, you know, against all these guys here, the support we've had from both Mark and myself and people of the Isle of Man, and in the UK and all worldwide has been phenomenal. You know, we had a fairly hefty tumble there in 2009. You know, we were lucky to get away with what we did, but you know, that's just part of the racing job. You know, I'm not bitter. I loved every minute of it, and I want to continue in the sport that I love.
And you are, and you've set your own team up, so the involvement's going to be pretty heavy. You're going to see it from the other side. And tell us about the reasons why you've gone for these guys.
Well, both of them are both good friends of mine for a start. And utter respect for Simon and Paul for what they've achieved over the years. You know, I've on numerous occasions in certain British Championship rounds and stuff finished second to Simon. This guy's up and coming. You know, he's got youth on the side, both of them. You know, and I think there's going to be a big surprise this year's TT.
I also saw you driving today with Mr. Hudspeth. I mean, he's been a big help for you, hasn't he?
Yeah, big is the word. He's the. It's a good job he's paying for the shirts anyway. He size them. No, on all hands, everybody, it's, you know, the sponsors throughout the years, Dave, Honda, and Andy Farragut. There's so many people. You just got to look at, you know, the graphics on bike. All the supported us over the years has been fantastic. You know, and you know, I'm fortunate enough that everybody stuck with us to form the new team we're going to create this year.
I think everybody in here wishes you well with the new venture, and let's have a chat now with Mr. Neary first of all. It's an honour, isn't it, to be asked to be part of Nick's team for the first time?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like Nick says, we've been mates for quite a long time now, and we've had many a battle on the track, and unfortunately with what happened, you know, his determination to carry on is absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I do feel honoured to be part of Nick's new team. Yeah.
You've been doing a bit of racing last weekend up at Derby.
Yeah, we were up there doing a bit of testing and just a few new changes, and everything seems well. Everything seems to be good.
And what's the plan of attack up to the TT?
We'll be doing the British Championship and the Swan Combi Challenge Championship, and I think we're looking at doing the F2 World Series as well. So that should keep us entertained up to the TT.
Okay, let's have a word with Paul. And the sidecar TT is turning into an unofficial World Championship round in many respects now, isn't it, with the lineup?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, some of the greatest teams in the world now want to take part in the TT, and having taken part in it last year for the first time, you can quite easily see why. It's absolutely an awesome place to come and race, and it takes every bit of determination to compete around here. So yeah, you can quite easily see why the best teams in the world want to come here and race.
And what a bit of valuable input you're going to have as well from your team boss.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I mean, Simon's a fantastic driver around here in his own right. I'm still relatively learning the place, but hopefully with Nick's input as a driver and a passenger around here, I think we should both be on the pace, you know, quite quickly, and hopefully upset a few people.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for Simon Neary, Paul Knapton, and the legendary Nicky Crowe.
Well, let's stay with the sidecars now. And this year's sidecar TT races, as the boys have just said there, could already boast the world numbers 1, 3 and 6 in the entry for 2010. And now the current number 4 crew have joined the action with the father and son pairing of Gary and Dan Knight. They will be home to follow in the footsteps of their fellow Superside front runners and the Birchall brothers, and of course Tim Reeves, in making a big impression on the TT sidecar races. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome onto the stage TT sidecar newcomers for 2010, Gary and Dan Knight.
It is a round of the World Championship now, isn't it?
Why was it ever not?
You've got to obviously develop a different bike, though.
Yeah, this has all been very, very last minute. When I say last minute, I mean this decision to come was made last week. I've actually been offered a bike or we've been offered a bike by Manx TT rider Brian Rostron, who's over here, very kindly agreed to lend us his bike for the year. It seemed rude to refuse, so we're going to come and have a go. We've had a good look around the last couple of days. We like it.
You do like it?
Oh, yes.
That's good to hear. What brought you to come to the TT? Was it hearing stories from Tim Reeves and the Birchall brothers?
No. It's been a lot of pieces of a jigsaw that have finally all come together. Not least, in fact, Nick Crowe. You probably won't remember, but a few years ago we were at Alton Park and he was asking me, he was sitting on the back of his van and saying, why do you never come to the TT? And I said, it's just not even on my radar, really. And the look of shock on his face has stuck with me ever since, really. So, you know, that's just one other small part in the long chain. Dan's always wanted to come here. The last time I was in the Isle of Man was actually 50 years ago this year, when I was 2, which was in fact in a sidecar with my dad then. We know we've got a lot to learn. We're just going to try and be sensible. Fabulous circuit that we've never ridden before. Fabulous event that we've never been to before. A class that actually we've never ridden in before, the F2. And a bike that we've never raced. What could go wrong?
Absolutely. Well, let's move down a generation, very succinctly put. You've obviously had the ambition then to do the TT. Have you had to really twist the old man's arm a little bit to get him to come and do it, in all honesty?
Yeah, it's been a struggle. I really wanted to come. It's probably one of the best sidecar races in the world, the TT. We focus a lot on the World Championship, so it's never sort of been something we've had time to do before. So to come this year is going to be really good.
And what about the impressions now you've seen it from a point of view where you're going to be riding it?
Yeah, there's a lot of fast places on it. It's going to be very different to short circuit racing, which is what we're used to. So a lot of laps in the car and the video game.
Busy couple of months coming up for the two of you then.
Very.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Gary and Dan Knight.